Well, you guys, welcome back. If you are new here, we are the Habit team. The Habit is a nutrition coaching company made for women by women. Our program is built for you with coaches who put your goals, lifestyle, and personality first. If you want to learn more about us, head to the episode notes or go to thehabit.com. That's habit with a Y to either request more information or book your free discovery call.
You just have Coach Fairlane today because we are going to talk about something simple yet very meaningful. And this is about goals. Now, why your goals need a stronger why and really how to find it, right? Here we are. It's a new year, but are we having same patterns? If you're listening to this in the new year, chances are you've either already set some goals, thought about setting goals, or are feeling that familiar mix of motivation and pressure that January tends to bring, right? New year, new me. I hate that mantra, by the way. But before we talk about macros, workouts, or structure, or anything else, I want to start with something more foundational because this is the part most people skip. Today, we're talking about why your goals matter, why so many don't stick, and how to build goals that actually carry you through the year, not just through the first few weeks of motivation. Because if you've ever set goals before and watched them fade, that doesn't mean that you lack discipline. It usually means that the goal wasn't anchored deeply enough. So let's dig in. Why goal setting alone isn't enough? There's a lot of talk around goal setting this time of year. Surprise, surprise, right? But what most people don't realize is that setting a goal is only a small piece of the puzzle. Research in behavioral psychology shows that people are far more likely to follow through when goals are personally meaningful, emotionally connected, and tied to identity and values, not just outcomes. Your brain wants purpose. It wants clarity. It wants to understand why effort is required. So when goals are vague, things like, I want to lose weight, I want to eat better, I want to work out more, your brain doesn't have enough information to really even create a consistent behavior around that. So instead, it relies on motivation and willpower. And willpower is limited. It runs out quickly, especially when life gets busy and chaotic, when stress increases, or your routines get disrupted. The real problem is what we call surface level goals. Most goals don't fail because people don't care. They fail because they're surface levels. And what I mean by this is, for example, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, but why? This is where I want to introduce something I see all the time, especially as a mom. If you've ever been around a young child or kid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the power of why. You tell them something, right? And they respond with why. You answer them and they also again ask why. And then again. And then again. And then again. And eventually you hit that moment where you're like, okay, we're getting to the real question now. This is the same process we need to apply to our goals. We like to call it the power of the 5 layers of why. And a really good example of this is, again, right, very surface level. I want to lose weight. Okay, why? Ask yourself, why? Because I want to feel better in my body. Why? Why does that matter? Because I don't feel confident right now. Okay, why? Why does confidence matter? Because when I feel confident, I show up differently in my life. Why? Why does that matter? Because I want to be more present, energetic, and engaged with my family. Why is this important? Because I want to feel proud of how I'm taking care of myself and modeling that for my kids. So now we're getting somewhere. That final why is exactly what sustainable behavior looks like. It actually sustains behavior when motivation fades. And research shows over and over again that goals tied to identity and values activate more dopamine during the process, not just when the goal is achieved, which then means consistency feels more rewarding. Setbacks won't derail the process or you. You're also more resilient when progress isn't linear. This is why two people can have the same goal and have two very different outcomes. Now, talking about that specific goal, why aesthetics alone and physical changes don't carry you, right? There's nothing wrong with obviously wanting to change how you look or wanting to lose weight. But let me be clear about that. But aesthetics alone rarely carry people through stressful weeks, plateaus, schedule changes, hormonal shifts, life transitions. I mean, anything else in between, right? When the only driver is the scale or appearance, it's easy to give up when results slow down or when it feels like it's not going anywhere. But when the goal is connected more with, I would say, biofeedback, which is something you hear from us coaches a lot, where it's connected to energy, your confidence, your health, your internal health, longevity, your strength, and just being present for your life, that's when consistency becomes more sustainable because you're not having to rely on a physical aesthetic change. Goals that stick isn't about punishment, they're about alignment, okay? So what makes goals actually stick? For goals to work long term, we need 4 things. And first is clarity, not just what you want, but why it matters. Second is alignment with your current life. Your goals must fit your schedule, your responsibilities, your stress, your season, and anything else in between. Third is behavior-based focus. Outcomes follow behaviors, not the other way around. And last is flexibility. Rigid goals break under pressure. Adaptable goals evolve. So as we finish through this little mini pod, I want for you to set some time to really reflect on how 2025 was, but then also really setting your intentions for 2026. And here's something I encourage you to do if you haven't already. Take 10 to 15 quiet minutes and answer these questions honestly. Are you ready to write this down? First one is, what do I want more of this year? 2, why does that matter to me beyond how I look? 3, who do I want to be this year? 4, what habits supports this identity? And 5, how can I show up consistently, not perfectly? You don't need a full plan today. You just need clarity. You need a place to start. And these 5 simple questions can get you there. So I want to leave you with this. You don't need more discipline. You don't need harsher rules. You don't need to start over. You need goals that actually mean something to you. Goals that align with your values. Goals that reflect your life. Goals that can withstand real world chaos. This year, 2026, isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Ask why, and then ask it again, and again, and again. Because when your why is strong enough, your habits don't need to be forced. So, thank you for listening. And if you want more of this, and if you want to have a little worksheet, a little guide for you to help you figure out your intentions for 2026, we're here. I'm here. Send me a message because I have a worksheet waiting for you as well. I hope this was helpful, and we can't wait to spend 2026 with you. We'll see you all soon.